You have to permit me to share screen.
No, already permitted.
Okay. Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityoma Amrutam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This is the shortest yet one of the most powerful Upanishads. It has only 12 slokas. It comes in the last part of Atharva Veda. This is the Upanishad which Lord Rama recommended to Hanuman to attain enlightenment. But the 12 slokas can be divided into three groups. The group 1, sloka 1 and 2 explain the concept of Om. In group 2, you have slokas 3 to 6, which explain the three states of our existence. And of course, the fourth state of existence, which is our true state. And this is covered by the all-important sloka number 7. And group 3, which is slokas 8 to 12, give us one more tool that help us to realize ourselves. The slokas are all in two planes. One is about the self, and the other one is about the cosmic self, that is Paramatma. Om represents the whole universe. It covers the past, present, and the future. It covers beyond time, that is eternity. It is something which is forever. It is something which is imperishable. Shloka 3 explains the first aspect of ourself. In this state, we are awake, or we are in the waking state, which is called Jagrat. In the waking state, we are experiencing the waking world. This is actually the state in which we are in at this moment. Say we are talking to people, we're interacting, we're doing things during the day. It is this state. The knower in this state is looking externally, looking outward at things, objects, and people. In this stage, the knower is called the Vishwa, and the Paramatma in this stage is called Virat, or also Vishwarupa. Shloka 2 explains the second aspect of ourself, which is our dream state, where we are in the dream world. The knower is inward looking in a stage of Antaprajna. Is called Taijasa, which means burning. That means the mind is so active you can do anything and achieve anything in the dream state. The Paramatma in this stage is called Hiranyagarbha, the state in which he created the universe. So the third aspect of ourself is when we are in the deep sleep state, which is called Susupti. In this state, we are almost not conscious. The mind is blank. We do not feel or see anything. The mind is just filled with darkness and peace. The knower in this stage is in the stage of Anandamaya or bliss. He is called Prajna, and the Paramatma in this stage is called Ishvara. So the summary of our three states, Vishwa or the waking state, the first one, followed by Taijasa or the dream state in the dream world, and Prajna or the deep sleep state in the deep sleep world. For the Paramatma, it is other way around. It starts with Ishvara, which is peace and sleep, and then he gets into the Hiranyagarbha, creator, and Virat or Vishwarupa. We have Sloka 7 in Sanskrit, and it's followed in the next slide in English. Nanta pragyam na bahish pragyam na bayata pragyam na pragyanaganam na pragyam na pragyam adrishyam avyavaharyam agrahyam alakshanam achintyam avyayapadesham ekatma pratyayasaram prapanchopasanam shantam shivam advaitam chaturam manyate sa atma savigneyah. The shloka has three parts. Part 1 explains who is not a conscious person. Part 2 shows how we cannot locate consciousness. And part 3 it points to consciousness indirectly. It also gives a means to achieve it and what are the benefits. So who is a non-realized person, a person who is not achieved realization? Nanta Pragyam, the one who is looking inwards, that is a dreamer, he's not a realized person. Now Bahish Pragyam, the waker in the waking stage, he is also not the realized person. Now Bhayata Prajnam is not the one who is in between these two stages. Now Prajnana Ganam, not the one who is in deep sleep stage. Na Pragyam, na Apragyam, not the one who is fully conscious or is fully unconscious. None of these people are or can be considered to be realized persons. Consciousness is difficult to locate. It is adrishyam, that is, our sense organs cannot locate it. It cannot be seen, you cannot hear, you cannot touch, you cannot feel it. Agrahyam, or any of the organs of action in the body cannot locate it. You cannot walk to a place and say, from here I can see consciousness. Avyavaharyam, it is not something to be transacted. It is not something which can be used. It's not like, okay, the heart and the body, you can use it so you know and you can locate it. No, it's not of that kind. Alakshanam, it cannot be inferred. You cannot use your intellect, your analytical skills and say, okay, this is the way I'm going to find out what consciousness is. Achintyam, it is beyond thought. It is about thought. So we cannot think through and discover consciousness because it's the other way around. A thought is governed by consciousness. Avyapadesham, that is, it is beyond language and words. How can anything be beyond words or language? And Adi Shankara explains this by showing the 5 factors which govern language. Number 1, language has to be part of a set, and consciousness is not forming part of any set. A language can describe the quality of something, whereas consciousness has no quality, it is nirguna. A language can show a function, a kriya, say you have a driver or a cook, or a heart as a function in the body, whereas the consciousness has no function. A language can also reflect a relationship, like a friend, brother, father, whereas consciousness is totally independent, it is Advaita, it has no relationship with anything else. A language can be also used as a convention, or in Sanskrit called Rudi, where we can identify something specific by pointing out to something. And you cannot do that for consciousness because it is not possible to point out something and say that this is consciousness. And hence Adi Shankara says that you cannot use language or words to describe consciousness. The part 3 of Sloka 7 sort of points out indirectly to consciousness and of course also explains the benefits. Now how do you reach it? Through ekatma pratyaya saram. That is by tracing the I or following the I. So the tool to discover, as given in this Upanishad is follow the I or trace the I and you will realize your true self. And once you discover your true self, what are the benefits? But the benefits are bliss, a universal peace, fearlessness, non-dual, an infinite state of anandam, and all this in this life itself. And after this, when this cycle of birth and rebirth ends, there will be no rebirth and you will be part of the Almighty. So the way to follow the I is through meditation, prayer, and contemplation. But the Swamis also recommend another route, that is to follow the teachings of Ramana Maharishi. And one of his central teaching is to discover who am I. Our fourth aspect, in simple words, it's a state in which we are in ultimate pure consciousness, or Turiam as Gaudapada and Adi Shankara put it. It is a light of awareness that shines and drives our existence in all the three states. It manifests, underlines, and is present in all our three aspects of life, which is the waking life, the dream world, and in the deep sleep state. It is not actually the fourth state, but it is something which is sort of prevailing in all the three, and hence it is one together. And that's why it's called Advaita. It's a true state. And in this state, we experience bliss and we realize pure consciousness. Slokas 8 to 12, they describe Om in detail, where A represents the waking state, U represents the dream state, and Ma or represents the deep sleep state of the individual. And all three together, with the silence following that, Om, represent our true state of pure consciousness or realization. This Upanishad recommends Om chanting and Om meditation to achieve realization. Om meditation has many benefits. Number one, fulfillment of our worldly desires. This is from the first syllable. It helps at least some in our lineage or family achieve enlightenment. This comes from the syllable U, and it helps us to accumulate knowledge. This is from the syllable Ma. However, the ultimate benefit is in the realization of the universal truth and enlightenment. And this is from chanting Om. He goes with the self to the Supreme Self, who knows this, who knows this. Thank you.